Hi and welcome back to the Knit Guru. This is going to be a very different video because I've just been approached by somebody to design a pattern for them. So let's do that. Let's design a hat pattern. It shouldn't take too long. I don't know what the footage is going to look like, but there will be a pattern in the end because I'm working on a deadline. I also figure this pattern will make a fantastic Christmas gift for my nephew's new girlfriend, potentially. So let's see what we can do. Alright, so what the request is for is, well, let's figure this out. Let's call it Hat with Diamonds. Okay, because basically I think she saw a hat and someone attributed it to being one of my designs, because I've got some designs with a similar motif, but with mine that currently exist, the motif is just sort of through part of it, not through the whole thing. So this is the 2x2 rib. This is 16 rows. If you wanted to have a double brim, you'd just double it up and knit 28 rows. But I'm just going to go with a single brim for this particular one, because you've got options. Okay, I'm finished one rotation of the colour changes, and I think it's come out cool. I'm happy with my colour choices and how I've put them together. I do think it's one of those ones that, because of the bubblegum pink, it reads a little feminine, but I think everyone looks good in bubblegum pink. I've decided this is my favourite shade of pink, and this is my favourite shade of green, even though I'm not a big green fan. It's low on my list of colours. So we've got these diamond patterns. They're echoing through. They're half one colour and half the other colour, and I think it's working. I love pink and grey together. It's a long story, but I really love it. Now, I am not catching my floats. I've got two reasons for not catching my floats. One, I don't feel like it. Also, I don't think it matters with a hat, because you're not going to get your fingers caught in these. I'm using wool, so the wool is going to felt somewhat as soon as I block the hat anyway, so they're going to sit a little flatter against the head. If you wrap your floats, you run the risk of seeing bits through the front. Because it's really important that you've got a loose tension on your floats themselves, just so that the hat can still stretch around the head. I just think it's easier to not catch your floats. But I've also designed it so that it's only travelling over a maximum of 5 stitches. I usually stick to 4 stitches as the maximum I want to carry a float across, but that's for like a garment where you're putting your hands through frequently. For a hat, I think 5 is going to be fine. Like, yes, I can fit my finger in there, but I'm never going to have my finger inside the hat in the first place. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm now going to go and make some breakfast, and then maybe go and sit outside and see how much more of this I can churn through. Hi, I'm Juanita from the Knit Guru, and I saw there's a trend going around of people talking about their whips, so here's a whip from me. This is a Diamond Beanie knit flat that someone's asked me to design a pattern for so that they can make it for their son's girlfriend for Christmas. So, all going well, this is done in time for her to make a Christmas present. I'll catch you next time. So, here we're up to. So I've done the pattern 2.5 times. I think 2.5 times is right for the smallest size that I'm going to make, and then I think it's going to be 3 times for the medium size, and for the large size 3.5, and that should create enough depth. I'm really happy with my floats at the back, except that one's a little bit long. I might stitch that down, but we'll see. I might just be able to tweak it through a little bit later on, but no, I'm really happy with the floats. I'm happy with how it's turned out, and I'm really hoping that it's what the lady is after, because I think it is, but hopefully I just haven't got my lines crossed. Okay, so we've got to the length, and we've just done 2 rows, 1 knit, 1 purl, or 2 rows in the round of knit of the colour that's going to be for the crown, and I'm just making it the grey of the band. So that is the Diamond Beanie. It's a really easy pattern to work with. The full pattern is down below, linked on my website. Now there's 2 sets of instructions. There's one that you can use to knit this entire hat in the round, or you can choose to knit it flat like I did in the video. Now I did it flat because that's what the original request was for, but generally speaking I prefer to knit beanies in the round because it saves seaming it up the sides, let's be completely honest. What I like about this particular pattern is that it's such a good stash buster. Like, it would work really well with mini skeins, really well. And as I was working on it right before Christmas, I did think about that diamond pattern as something that I could do with my Christmas yarn advent. I didn't. I used scrap yarn. So it's a fantastic stash buster, just being able to coordinate some different colours and make it work. Now, obviously, the colours that I've chosen with the pink and the green and the grey and the white, you can pick different colours. And you don't necessarily even have to have colours that coordinate, because many people would argue that the green and the pink don't go together because the diamonds kind of make it cool. Now, there's no diamond pattern on the crown itself. Now, I chose to do that to make sure that the hat stayed a really easy knit, because the last thing I want is for anyone to come along and want to make a hat and then find that it's unnecessarily difficult at the end, particularly when it's designed to be an easy pattern. Now, you can get the full written pattern down on my website. It's available for free. Just download the chart. That'll be there as a PDF, and you can use that chart for this beanie or anything else you want to use the diamond-shaped charts for, to be completely honest. There's a project for it up on Ravelry if you want to share your work. Nearly all my patterns, I think, are also linked over on Ravelry. I think. Definitely some of them make it there first. This is one that made it up on Ravelry before it made it here to YouTube. So it's a simple pattern. I did end up giving this hat to my nephew's girlfriend over Christmas, and it worked out well because she was wearing a t-shirt that had a green and pink print on the front. So there you go. Even though giving a hat in summer in New Zealand, there's definitely better ideas for Christmas presents, I'm sure, just not one that I went with. So it's an easy pattern. You'll enjoy making it. It looks stunning in the end, and it's a fantastic use of your scrap yarn. If you're interested in some of my other knitting patterns or knitting projects or knitting tutorials that are here on YouTube, you can click this link down here. If you want to stick around and subscribe, there'll be a subscribe button up there in the corner, and there'll be a whole other video that YouTube thinks you're going to want to watch because you've watched this one from my channel as well. Take care. I will catch you next week. Bye.